What do you mean by humanity may become gods in the future? So, what do you mean by that? How can humanity, us simple meat beings, actually the gods themselves? Well, I'm going to tell you something that may blow your mind. Most of my videos already kind of blow your mind already. Hopefully this video is not 40 minutes long because it'll be 3 o'clock by then. But soon humanity is about to achieve godhood. But there are of course a lot of there is one major thing standing in the way. First, the one thing of course is the materialist secular communist view on society. The that is the big thing that's holding back the spirituality of humanity. The big thing that's holding it back is that worldview. That worldview that basically when you die, there's nothing happening. Okay? Even though most people know, okay, most people who know and understand the spirit that we are eternal beings. We are eternal beings. We have always existed and we always will exist. There is no such thing as non existent because non existence is impossible. Okay? All living beings have a soul. All living beings have a soul. And what do you mean by humanity can become gods? Well, we're already starting to experience this with our science and technology. Our gods, our humanity being gods, is our intelligence. Okay, life has been evolving for an uncountable amount of times. When you split off from the universal source, which is the pure universal consciousness, you go through a journey through millions, billions, or trillions of years. Okay, you don't need to remember your life as a bird or as a dinosaur or as a bacteria. You don't need to remember that. That's why most past life regressions never reveal non-human lives because outside of other intelligent organisms, which are alien lives, because you don't need to remember being a random bird in the middle of Algeria. Okay, you don't need to remember being a random bird in the middle of Algeria. That is completely pointless and utterly pointless to your survival. The whole goal, the whole thing is humanity. We are supposed to live in the now, okay? Because you should really understand that there's no such thing as a past and a future because the universe is eternal. The universe always has and always will existed. Time is basically only a concept on the physical realm. It's only a concept on this physical realm that all of us subject ourselves to it to further our evolution. But eventually, humanity will realize that they have the ability to become gods. There are already many humans on this planet that are already trying to do this, which are the immortalists. They're the ones who are trying to make humanity gods because they realize that there is more than just our 80-year lifespans that we are all subjected to. That there is more. That we have the potential and abilities to become godlike and gods themselves. That is what God envisioned in all of us, in all consciousness. Okay, we don't lose our identity. That is the stupidest thing one person can get. That's what I mean by not becoming truly one of God, because you are a God as well. Okay, you are a God as well. Okay, you are a God. Okay, a set. Basically, the term is one is many. We are many, but we are one. That is what you should really get from it. Okay, we are many, but we are one. Okay, that is the whole term I'm going to pass on to you in this video. Okay, we are all gods. There is one God, the source, but we individually make up the cells of the God. Okay, we individually make up the cells of God itself. Okay, and once humanity works together and realizes, of course, once humanity finally realizes that there was more than just materialism. Which again, materialism is on a losing ground. You're seeing the decline in materialism, which is the view that science, or the earth from eye view, basically what even Alexander describes. The earth from eye view of the universe, which again, most materialists view it that way. Most people view reality with an earth from eye view. So of course, some people are not going to experience anything after death because they have the earth from eye view. They don't see the afterlife until they eventually realize and call to, of course, the universal consciousness, and of course come out of the earth from eye view, which again doesn't take that long because in the spirit world there's no time. Okay, it basically takes an instant. An instant. And materialists, they essentially, that's the earth from eye view, basically, of life. And again, that earth from eye view, I believe in the next 10 to 20 years, people will eventually set this earth from eye view of humanity, okay? Life extension is essentially the path of humanity got, or transhumanism, as, which again, life extension is a transhumanist area. Transhumanism is basically trans God. Okay, you're already transitioning to becoming a God. Okay, you're already transitioning to becoming a God-like race, where you'll be able to understand the fundamental truths of the universe. Okay, there's already many people who understand this. Many spiritual people already understand this. But they will continue reincarnating because most of humanity still is stuck in the dark ages. They don't understand the truth behind consciousness. Okay, all consciousness is God. Okay, we are many, and we are many, but we are one. All consciousness is God. Okay, our soul is our real identity. Our real identity, which is essentially like a computer, like a highly advanced computer that knows all. Your soul knows all. It knows all the information about the universe. But you, okay, your avatar, okay, was again the reason why we come to this planet, this physical world, okay, again, most people reincarnate on Earth. So some people do reincarnate on other planets, but it's very, very, very rare. Most people reincarnate on Earth because again, most people know that this is the only planet we know. Again, in a couple 20 years, there'll be people reincarnating on Mars, and once the Mars colonies come around, as well. Once the Mars colonies come around, of course, people know. Yeah, it can also reincarnate on Mars, not just Earth. I want to go up. I want to go up on Mars. That would be a pretty cool prospect, and humanity will soon be able to have colonies on Mars and the Moon. So Earth, of course, will very, very soon no longer be the only option to reincarnate into. But once humanity realizes the godhood, humanity won't need to reincarnate because they have already transcended past death. Humanity will start to realize that the universe is the key to everything. The universe is eternal and everything is absolute. We are the absolute. We will be able to shape the universe in our own image because we are one. Humanity will realize and wake up to the false hopes of mainstream religion, which again tries to steer you away from the truths of the universe and believe that if you are good, and it'll judge you based off you're good or bad. Again, that basically goes against the evolution of a soul, and so it goes against the evolution of your soul. Again, judgment, and many religions, judgment was not a thing until they added it in because that's what humans do. That's what Your brain does. Your brain does judgment. Humanity does judgment. God does not do judgment. The universe does not do judgment because the universe is a forgiving being. The universe itself is a forgiving being. The universe will always forgive you. Okay? Will always forgive you. Okay? That is the thing. The universe always has loved and always has cared for you. And has always loved you. Because that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. The universe has always loved you. You're no matter you have already been one with the universe ever since you have been created from the universal consciousness. You have always been one with the universe because every living organism, every living consciousness has always been one with the universe. Again, that's what most people don't understand. Again, most people don't understand that because, of course, they're blocked by the atheist view of society, the communist atheist, of course, view that basically permeates our society. Some people call it the woke view of society, but it's essentially the materialist view of society. Which again, society is finally starting to wake up against the materialist communist ideologies that is permeating around humanity. And humanity will start to slowly wake up against it. That, you always have existed. You never die. You never die. And society is finally starting to slowly and slowly wake up to the fact that that is the truth. And that is the truth. Okay? Society is slowly starting to wake up to the truths and matters of our universe. So, that's what we mean by we're gods. We will be able, as one, say, become a type 4 civilization. A type 4 civilization needs to understand how the universe works. It is not about conquering the universe, it's understanding how our universe works. Okay? It could just be a civilization that took over one galaxy. It is understanding the fundamental rules and laws of the universe. But humanity will never become a type 4 civilization if they don't understand the true meaning and true purpose of their existence. Okay? The true meaning of humanity. Okay? All beings originated from the universal consciousness. Okay? There was no Big Bang. The real start of the universe, actually started with your consciousness being created. That was the real start of the universe. New consciousness is always being created, and going through the cycle of life. Going through the cycle of life and death, and life and death. Okay? It is completely preposterous that materialism continues to say there's nothing after death. It is completely preposterous because the first law of thermodynamics completely debunks, the materialist view of society. Again, the literal materialist laws debunks. Okay, but again, it's proven by NDEs that when you die, you go to pure consciousness or your soul. I use both soul and consciousness, equally, because your consciousness and soul are basically the same thing. They're basically the same exact thing. Okay? That's what it is. The same exact thing. The reason why we incarnate into the physical world, most beings on Earth are familiar with this Earth. Okay? They're familiar with Earth and this planet because they don't know any other planets. Most creatures usually evolve on this planet. Okay? Most creatures on this are technically earthbound because we don't know any other planets that have life. Okay, probably besides Mars in the early phases of its existence. Okay, we probably don't know. Since we don't know any other planets, okay, the only people, and again, when people had, past life regression, it's mostly very, very, very advanced alien races. Okay, for example, the boy on Mars, or there's many advanced alien races. I believe in order to reincarnate on another planet, you're gonna have to know about that other planet. Life on that other planet. Of course, if you don't know about life on another planet, unless you have seen it in a near-death experience, or seen it, or basically giving it another chance, most will choose to come back on Earth, and most will choose, if they have reached the level of intelligence or human, they never go back down. You don't need, again, as I explained, you don't need to remember being a pigeon in, Zimbabwe. Okay, you don't need to remember that. You don't need to remember being a lion in, 10,000 years ago in Europe. Okay, you don't need to remember that experience because you are already past it. It is unnecessary for your survival to remember your past lives as animals. It is unnecessary. Unnecessary. That your soul even quite likely discards that information and focuses on the human era of your existence. New souls are, of course, new to human life. They're new to being intelligent. And they shed the animal skin. Old souls are souls that are used to intelligent life. They know they're usually more smarter. They're usually more intelligent. And because they're used to being intelligent, they're used to being smart, so they understand intelligence down to a basic level. They understand intelligence down to the basic level and are usually more spiritual than souls that just gain into. Wow, that echoes dumb. That are used to intelligence. Okay, souls that are used to intelligence are old souls. Consciousness as well, same thing. So, but eventually, every soul will realize that it is a god. Your consciousness will eventually realize that, hey, we are more than just human. We are more than just human. Again, I believe this is what's driving the whole transhumanist movement, because humanity's starting to realize that they're more than just a human, more than just a meat, fresh body of bones and meat. Okay, we are more than just that. Okay, and again, you're not alone. You will not be alone in becoming a god. Okay, you'll still have your family and relatives with you on spirit. You will still have your family and relatives. Okay, your current family is unless you have a very, very bad family, is likely you're eternally bonded to them. Okay, you are eternally bonded with your family because you are already under you, and of course your family. That's why good families usually have people with good families do that much better lives, because good families understand one each other, understand their weaknesses and strengths, and cover their weaknesses and strengths. And once humanity is finally starting to wake up, that they can become gods of this universe, that they can become a massive multiversal civilization, the complete and understanding of the spiritual universe, the spiritual electrical plasma universe, and setting the materialist cell and leaving it behind. And once humanity realizes that they are gods, they are gods themselves, humanity will become immortal. And eventually, with technology, with intelligence, they'll be able to travel between the physical and non-physical realms. So basically, both the physical realm and the non-physical realm will be your home. The universe is your home. Okay, that's your home. This universe that we live in is your home. Okay, is your home, and always will be, and always has been your home. All humanity does need to do is wake up. And I believe that time is actually coming very soon. Soon, much sooner than people realize. Once humanity wakes up from the false promises of atheism, materialism, and communism, and realize the truth of humanity. Because humanity has been reincarnated as humans and humans and humans for hundreds of years. The Greeks already understood this. Same thing with Buddhism and Hinduism, they have understood this, that reincarnation is simply about evolution. Okay? For example, Hinduism is basically closest to my model that I'm talking about of reincarnation. Basically, you evolve up the ladder. You evolve up the ladder as well. You evolve up it and basically get higher and higher with each evolution. Okay? But unlike Hinduism, you don't fall back the ladder. You don't get punished and turned back into a wolf. Okay? Because you already have achieved intelligence, you don't need to go back from, being a non-intelligent creature. So you don't need that. It is detrimental to evolution to go back a step on the ladder. Okay, it's like saying, for example, let's just use a leopard. It is detrimental for a leopard to evolve back into an insect. Okay, for let's just say preferably a fly or a stink bug. It is detrimental to a soul to evolve back. I wish people would realize that. Unless you want to be an intelligent bird on another planet, or an intelligent dinosaur, or an intelligent wolf or dog like race, and you don't evolve back into an animal. Okay, you do not go back into animal life because it is pointless. It is detrimental to humanity. So once humanity realizes the truths and values of the universe that the universe has already gave us, once humanity understands the truth of the universe, humanity will no longer need to come back and die and die and die again. Because humanity will break it by realizing that with their intellect, with their minds, they can shape reality. They will shape the reality to whatever we want. Our souls can already do that, but it's very limited because we can't experience it with all the senses. That's why we reincarnate. Because we can't experience as souls all the senses. Because souls pass through everything. Okay? Like ghosts. So yep, there we go. That's basically it about this video. Goodbye.